Hello everyone, Absent Friend here, and we're back with another advanced guide for Disney Villainous. Today, we'll be looking at Oogie Boogie. So get in your bathtub and let's check it out. Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell to be alerted when new episodes are available. And here we are with Oogie Boogie. All right, so our solo box for Oogie Boogie. Yeah. Anyway, let's check them out. So, first things first, we forgot to put Santa Claus out. I don't know why I keep forgetting to put Santa Claus out, but we always forget to put Santa Claus out. Where is he? There he is. Okay. So, of course, he's out all the time until you do the thing. All right. So, of course, with Oogie Boogie, gain up some power and play cards and cycle your deck until you get all of those little imposter Santa Clauses attached to Santa Claus and get Jack Skellington out on the board as quickly as possible so you can defeat him. Now, as far as the allies go, I always play all the allies I come across, any of them, unless there's a hero out that I need to vanquish. If there are certain heroes that you need to vanquish quickly, but there are some that, if they're out, no big deal. For example, like the mayor. The mayor is not that big of a deal. I don't bother with him. Dr. Finkelstein, I don't bother with him either. I don't really care. Zero, maybe. Just depends. He's not really that much of a deterrent, but I might deal with him just because he is easy to defeat. However, the one hero that I do deal with anytime she comes out is Miss Sally. Because if you have smart Fators, they will play Sally there to move Oogie Boogie here and to keep him from going back to other places quickly, especially these vanquish actions quickly. Plus, she's 3 strength and she's covering up very good powers there. So that's where I play, as a Fator, that's where I play her, and I try to defeat her as quickly as possible. So unless all of your allies are, over here, which hopefully they shouldn't be. But like I said, I try to play as many allies as I can, and if I need some elsewhere, I'll put them elsewhere. But yeah, so any ally I come across, I'm just going to play it, especially the spiders, since they're free. Why not, right? But anyway, as far as the trio goes, I spread them out. And there is one, and I have very specific locations for them. So, for Barrel, I play him here. And I'll explain why in a minute. I put Lock here, and I put Shock here. Okay? So, the reason why I do this is because with Barrel, if you get here and you can play 2 cards and you have 2 Imposter Santa Clauses, you can use his dice result ability twice. So that can help you increase your dice a little bit. Because dice hate me for some reason. So I do very poorly with dice rolls. That's why I'm not a big fan of Oogie Boogie's character, but I get why they added the dice element to him. It's perfect for the character. So I get it. I'm just not a big fan of playing with dice because, as I said, they don't like me very much. And that's okay. I put Lock here because it doesn't matter where you are, if you're playing an ally, they're cheaper. Anywhere in the realm, not just at that location. And I play Shock here because pardon me, because when I go here and my discard is covered, I can't discard, I can still fate and play a card, I can still draw a card from that location. So that's why I like to play them there. Now, I put all the other allies, bats and spiders here, okay? And I put these guys here to use their abilities throughout the game, and then whenever it's time to do the thing, where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Wherever I'm at, okay? Because Oogie can play cards every turn. You cannot ever hinder his play cards, which makes him quite powerful if you ask me. Being able to cut off a villain's ability to play cards is wonderful as a Fator. But with Oogie, you cannot cut off his ability. He can play cards from anywhere. and he can gain a hefty amount of power from anywhere. So, you know, he's not a bad character to play as, for sure. Might be a little OP, but that's just me. But wherever he's at, just play that bathtub, and then activate that bathtub, and move everybody over to where Jack is, and do the coup de grace, okay? Just remember, you cannot play the bathtub and move the heroes or the allies to the same location. So, for example, if you're here, you have to move to... wait a minute. Yeah, move the bathtub to a new location, and all the other allies go to that new location. So if you're here, you activate the bathtub, it has to go somewhere else. So if Jack is here and you're trying to get all the allies to the bathtub, it don't work. So actually, it might be a good idea to do it here so that you can activate it here, move everybody, and then vanquish in the same turn. Okay? Or if this is covered, then you can go here. Hopefully you can use both cards, and you can play the bathtub here, activate it, move everybody down, and then play the what have we here, which allows you to perform a vanquish action, and then roll the dice, and hopefully, well, you're going to perform a vanquish action no matter what. So if it's the final vanquish action, it don't matter how the dice roll comes out. All right. So that's pretty much it with the strategy of Oogie Boogie. It's pretty simple. As I said, I forgot to mention the bats. When you use the bats in a vanquish action, they go into your discard pile, and then you can search your discard pile for an ally and place an ally in your hand. That includes the bats you just used, okay? So you perform a vanquish action, they get discarded, and then you can just pull them right back out and put them into your hand, all right? That's why I always put the allies there, because if you have to use them, you have to use them. Now, if you have a smart, Phaetor, smart Phaetor player, they will probably load up the citizens here if they're smart. If they're not smart, who knows what they'll do. That's why I always put those, I call them dummy allies, the cannon fodder allies, if you will, the pawns, here so they can get rid of those citizens quickly, all right? So I use these guys to take out these other ones if I need to, but I try not to unless I absolutely have to. So it just depends. Remember, they also boost each other's strength. So when one is out, the other gets +1. Or if they're all out, they all get +2. So they can all be 4 each if they're all out. Okay? So really, you don't even need all 3 of them. Well, I guess you do to get the 4 strength. But there you have it. So that is Oogie Boogie playstyle. It's really easy to do. As I said, as far as any other cards go, unless they're perfect to play in the moment, get rid of them. Use those conditions as they come into your hand if possible, but like I said, get rid of any card that is not the allies or anything else, okay? All right, now how do we fate Jack to keep him from winning? All right, well, once again, Jack needs to be fated quite a bit. If you get heroes out, go ahead and cover up that fate action. This is always good to keep heroes out because you can move a hero to an adjacent location and you can discard an ally or item from that hero's new location. So if Oogie Boogie has that bathtub out but didn't activate it right away, or maybe did activate it but was unable to do the final move, as it were, then use this to discard that bathtub so he can't use it again. So that can be a very detrimental card if you're lucky, but you have to have other heroes out. Jack counts, but you have to use other heroes to do that. So that's why I like to keep other heroes out. If it's early in the game, I like to play the citizens over here, as I said, but if it's early in the game, I like to use the citizens here to cover up that 3 power so he can't gain power too quickly. But other heroes, remember Jack, he's an effect. When he plays a fake card, he's an effect, not a hero. He's an effect which gets rid of Imposter Santa Claus's cards, and that's what you want. More citizens. This is good to do because you can look and see if he's got Imposter Santa Claus cards to get rid of, or what's that Vanquish card that he can do. What have we here? As a matter of fact, I was playing a game the other day with someone, and that's exactly what happened. He was just about ready to take out Jack with that what do we have here, because I've covered this up, and the only way you can do it is over here. And he was here, so he has to move away, and he was just going to play that card to finish him off, but I faded him, and I played this. I saw that in his hand. I was like, get rid of it, and he was not happy. So definitely use that, especially late in the game. Again, using other heroes to cover up all his actions. So at least he's limited, but again, he can still play cards every turn. He only can gain power here, and can fate there and discard here, so movements are limited. And of course, Sally, as you saw, play her there. Meanwhile, play all the citizens, especially if you start seeing 2 or more. Just start covering this up with the citizens, okay? Just get them out there and force him to vanquish as much as possible, because he still has to vanquish to get rid of them. And that will cost him actions, and he can only do actions once. So flood that location with the citizens, and of course, using that distraction card can move Jack around if Jack gets summoned, and Zero, of course, can boost him up a little bit if necessary. Okay, so that's it with Oogie Boogie on the villain and fate side. Again, if you have better strategies or your own strategies that you like, please let me know in the comments so I can check them out and try them for myself. So until next time, this is your absent friend, signing off.